color kids, this is Katie Carty Hiley from RainbowBrite.net. Welcome back to the Rainbow Land Museum. And I've got two merch hauls that I'm going to try to complete today. One I've been telling you guys about, I think probably for a while. The Zazzle haul is finally all around me and behind me and everywhere. But I'm going to do another smaller merch haul first, and then I'll get to the Zazzle. So I'm going to start with a few items that have been gifted to the museum by wonderful people that I love dearly. The first is not specifically Rainbow Brite, but it's a rainbow, and I do have some just random rainbow items in the museum just for aesthetic reasons and because I also just love rainbows. So this little perler bead rainbow was actually made by my little nephew, Hugo, who I love so much. He's adorable. Thank you, Hugo. I love the rainbow you made me. So this is definitely going to have a nice prize position somewhere in the museum that will make me smile every time I see it. And next, I've got a bookmark. This was actually, I think, found at a convention, excuse me, by a friend of mine. And it's definitely fan art. Pretty sure like original art. I'm just not sure why they cut up their original art, but it's adorable. So it's a rainbow on starlight, oops, and it has a beautiful pink ribbon that matches my hair. Isn't that lovely? But it's got like little shimmery shiny stars and glitter. There it is. And it's like, I guess that's watercolored, but I can like see the sketches, a few of the sketch marks behind it. So it's, yeah, this is like an original piece of fan art that somebody made into bookmarks. So there were probably other characters maybe that they just cut it off. I don't know. And I don't know who the artist is. I'm sorry, I can't give you credit. But I thought it was adorable. And this was from my friend Topher. Sorry, I forgot to tell you where it came from. This was from my wonderful friend Topher, who I have known for many, many years through the He-Man and She-Ra fandom. And he saw this and thought of me and sent it. So thanks, Topher. You're the best. Next, I've got a couple, pieces of vintage merchandise that were sent by my friend Michael Ron. I know I've mentioned him before because he has sent me several awesome things. The first is a bubble pipe set. Now I do already have the Twink and the Rainbow Brite bubble pipes, and I do have a bottle of the bubble solution, but I did not have any of them still in the package. They're just loose. And neither of mine have the red, whatever that is, circle that goes above their head. That probably is what actually makes the bubbles. Like, it's just a little hole. But you know, an actual bubble wand has like a little circle that's about that size, this red, and it's got that serrated edge. I never really thought about why bubble wands needed to have that design, but I guess it makes better bubbles because below that is just a little, you know, maybe a slightly larger than like a pencil tip, but not super. So I guess just if you blew it just through a tiny hole, it wouldn't really make a good bubble, but through the big thing, it makes bigger, better bubbles. So anyway, and it also has this. I don't know what that is. It's not mentioned, or if it is, pour liquid carefully. Well, that could just be saying pour it into the actual pipe. It does say something about gently dip bowl of pipe into liquid. I'm not sure. So maybe you don't put any solution into the pipe itself. Maybe that's just air. That would make sense. Okay. So this must be a little bowl. You pour some of the solution into the bowl. You dip the tip of this red thing into the bowl to get solution on it. Then you blow air through the pipe and up through that tiny hole I was just talking about, and it makes a bubble. Duh! It takes me a little while to figure things out sometimes, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm not an engineer. I get a toy and I play with it. I don't think about how it works. That's my husband's job. He enjoys doing things like that. But yeah, I can see enough of the instructions behind there to now understand that you don't put the solution into the pipe itself. That would be silly. And really, how would you even get it in there? The hole to blow in is also very small. I just never looked at it that hard. I was just like, oh, what a cute little Twink and Rainbow Brite pipe bubble thing. Whatever. So now I have one in the package. Thanks to Michael. Thank you so much. This one is, where is it? Yeah, copyright 1983 Hallmark, so it came out in 84 or after. Was made, or manufactured, I guess, by HG Industries Inc. in Long Beach, New York, but actually made in Hong Kong. And yeah, it's adorable, and I love it. So thank you very, very much. And the second thing he sent me is not an actual item. It's the packaging of an item. But he knew I would love such things. He just wanted the item itself, and I have a few of the items that I'm going to tell you about in a second, but I did not have any in the package or packaging from any of them. So what he sent me was packaging for the Rainbow Brite Twinkets, which are jewelry and hairwear items. They're little charms, and whatever he got, it was a Sprite with a star. So it was probably this fella, Romeo with star barrette, is what that one is described as. And I was also noticing behind that the actual figures were in, is a little instruction booklet, which is awesome. I had no idea it came with a little how-to guide-ish thing. But it talks about, you know, using the pendants to snap onto the clasps and the cords and the different things. So, but I was looking in here and it, or somewhere, it said, oh yeah, 6 styles available on the front of this. And at first I was like, but there aren't 6 things pictured in here, but they are pictured on the back of the card. So we've got Twink with Moon necklace clip-on. So I don't know if he comes with a necklace or if it's just a clip-on, because this one over here has Rainbow Brite with rainbow necklace. So it's like Rainbow Brite and a rainbow over her. So yes, I guess some of these come with either necklaces or bracelets or some kind of cord, and others it's just the charm. Yeah, we already talked about Romeo. So we've got Twink. Oh, I already said that one. Down here we got Rainbow Brite and Champ Sprite ponytail holders. So these must come on elastic bands that you can use as ponytail holders. We've got Starlight with star barrette. So maybe there's like a little clip, some kind of barrette behind that star that you can clip into your hair. And then Starlight with ring, which is cool. I'm not sure if I've seen that before. I mean, there could be several of these I haven't seen before, but I've come across several online. I just don't have many. I'll show you the 2 that I have, and one that I thought was this, and now I don't think it is, judging from the pictures. I have Romeo and Champ. Actually, did any of these say Champ? Oh yeah, Rainbow Brite and Champ Sprite ponytail holders. So I've got the Champ that was supposed to be a ponytail holder, and the Romeo that was supposed to be, or go with a star barrette. But I don't have either of the pieces they go with. The Champ still has the little loop thing. It's like a little metal clasp that would clasp onto that ponytail holder he came with. And you can see there's like a loop at the top of Romeo's head that you would loop through. What was he? The star barrette. Yeah, so the star thing that he came with there, he probably just lost his little dingly loop thing that would have attached him to the star. But I do have these 2 little guys. I've just had them in my collection for years. And I knew that they were Twinkets, but I never really thought about which ones they were, like what they came with originally. I just thought, hey, they're cute because they look like little PVC figures. And they basically are. That's what they're made of. But they're actually separate from the actual PVC figures that we all know and love. And like on this itself, there's no demarcation like a company or what it is. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. There's very small text. I cannot read that at all. Like it looks like a copyright symbol, so it probably says something about Hallmark, but it doesn't look like Hallmark. Oh wait, maybe it's a year, and then, you know what, I did this a minute ago on something else and it helped. I'm gonna turn my flashlight on my phone. So now when I shine something really bright on it, God. Yeah, it's a year. Couldn't tell you what the year is. What about on Romeo? What do you say? Oh, on that yellow, it's really hard. So that's just the copyright, and then No, I still can't read it at all. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's 1983. See, sometimes I can figure it out just because I know what it should be. I'm pretty sure it's 1983 HMK. Okay, so I was wrong. It does actually have text on it. It's so small, it's really, really hard to see on the back of their belts. But anyway, those are the two that I have. I don't have any of the stars. Like I don't have either of those two stars. I don't have a ring or starlight, or this rainbow or the moon or any of the necklaces or ponytail holders, any of that. The other thing I have, which now I don't know what it is this little Rainbow Brite. Now I figured she was a Twinkit because she has a loop. Yeah, there's text on her too. Oh, I think this is the one I was trying to read before. What did it say? They make it so small, you guys. There's something, yeah, copyright, some year that I can't read. Hallmark Cards Inc. 11-6 toys. And then made. What do you say? I need to do one of those like pencil scratching things where. Nope. Nope, I can't read you. Maybe you're upside down. I don't know what that says. Anyway, getting off track here. If any of you know who she is or what she went with, let me know. The reason I think she's not a Twinkit now is because they've got two Rainbow Brites pictured here, but neither one of them have a like little stand that she's standing on. It's just her on both of those examples. There's nothing under her feet. Whereas this little lady can actually stand up on her own because she's on this little pink stand. Or flesh colored. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't really call that pink. And she's got like two loops. She's got the plastic one and then the metal one, and it's much longer. Like both of them are much longer than the loops and the thing on this little guy. So, no idea. Maybe she has a Twinkit. If somebody has one in package that looks like her, please let me know. Or if you know what else she's from, let me know. I'm always interested to figure out stuff that's already in my collection that I don't know what it is. It's always fun too. So, yeah, that kind of brought up more questions than answers, but that's not a bad thing. I like having more information, even if it's not all of the information. It still gives me things to look for and think about and wonder about. This was made by a company called Cat's Meow out of San Francisco, but it was actually made in Hong Kong, and it's also 1983 Hallmark cards. So again, came out in 84 or after. So those are the things that were sent to me as gifts. Thank you very much to Hugo, Michael, and Topher. And then there are a few items that I purchased, and I'll start with the non-vintage item because it's just funny. I was at a comic convention recently, and I'm always on the lookout for Rainbow Brite items when I go to any comic convention, whatever the subject matter of the comic convention is, and many of them are just generic, so they cover all types of geekery and nerdery, and they're fantastic. But it's very rare that I find anything Rainbow Brite, which is just pathetic. Come on, people, get it together. But this, I did find, and I had seen this material, or this design, I guess, that it's always been on material. I've never seen, like, a print of this, or, like, a piece of fan art that anyone has posted, so I guess someone designed this just for the purposes of putting it on material and selling it that way. But it's called Rainbow Fright, and I will show you a couple of examples of why. It's not super gory or anything, but it's definitely not just pure angelic Rainbow Brite as we are used to seeing her. Sorry, I keep having to pull at it because some of the characters are right at the seam, and I want you to be able to see them. So, like, Rainbow and Starlight here don't look too weird. But if you look at Twink down below, I'm gonna have to do this in sections. Here, I'll show you Rainbow and Starlight first. They're just a little punked out, nothing big. And then if I pull this up enough so you can see Twink's teeth and red eyes, then you're like, oh, that's not just punk, that's a little bit creepy. And then we've got, who else is on here? Yeah, like Red Butler is over here looking creepy with his creepy eyes. And his, Romeo is also off the seam a bit, but yeah, doesn't look too happy. And where did I see? I guess I have to flip it inside out. So we have Canary Yellow and Spark, and I'm like, is Spark dead? Did she kill him? I don't know. And Patio Green is looking very mischievous with Lucky, and he also has really creepy teeth. So it's a really funny print. It's fun. And I think I've seen people make like leggings and things out of this. Like it's just a stretchy material. I don't know where they buy the material. Sorry, I don't have that information. But if you ever look on Instagram and eBay, or not, well, maybe eBay too, but Instagram and Etsy especially, you'll see a lot of either things made for adults or kids with printed material that's fan art. It's not actual like official Hallmark artwork. It's artwork that people have created to make fabric out of. So it'll be scenes like this that can be repeated over and over on a piece of material without it looking weird. So anyway, this is my stretchy headband that I found at Comic-Con and had to have. And then I got, let's see here, I think for two Etsys and an eBay. No. These are all Etsys. Never mind. I've got some stuff coming from eBay soon. I'm going to do another video. See, I'm going to do a history, well, not a history, a variant. Well, I guess it can be a history and a variant. Kind of like I did with Puppy Brite. How I showed you all the items that were made about Puppy Brite because there weren't many. And then I showed you the different variations of Puppy Brite over the years and even the variants from back in the day. I'm going to do that with Baby Brite. But I'm waiting for a couple more to come in that I got off of eBay. I had enough that I could have just showed you what I have, but I think it'll be even more apparent with the ones that I ordered. And I just wanted some more because I love Baby Brite. Anyway, not talking about that today. Right now I'm talking about another little charm. And this is a little gold, he's on a little loop that could be on a necklace or whatever you wanted it to be. But this one, and I've seen more than one, but this is Twink playing a tuba. I know it's probably a little blurry. I apologize. But yeah, it's shiny in places. It's in really good condition. It's like perfect, practically. So I'm not sure a kid ever actually wore this or did anything with it. And on the back, it does say, oh my god. Yeah, 1983 Hallmark cards, Taiwan. I just had to turn that one a little ways to be able to read it. But again, it's tiny text on this gold background. But it's a cute little charm. And I feel like I've seen other characters on charms like this from back in the day. I feel like maybe there's a Rainbow on Starlight one. Maybe. I have to look through my images to see if I have pictures of those. Because this is the only one that I own. But I think Janine actually pointed this out to me. Like, she didn't send it to me, but she was, because it was on American Etsy, so there was no reason to ship it to the UK and back. And she was just like, hey, do you already have this? It's really cute. And I was like, oh, no, I don't. And it's not expensive. Bye. So yeah, now I've got that adorable little charm. And we'll stick with the Twink motif for a second with the second item, which was also, this is on Etsy. Another greeting card that I didn't have and don't think I'd ever seen before, which again, still keeps astounding me that this keeps happening. I really want to know how many Rainbow Brite greeting cards they made back in the day. There were a lot. Spoiler alert, there's a ton. So this is another Easter card. For you at Easter, Sprite Shoe Top Pals, which I'll explain when I open it, but even just the front image is adorable. Twink is so cute. And this one is 1983 Hallmark cards. Okay, so you open it up. There's instructions on the back, of course. But it says, because you're neat in every way, these shoe top pals have come to play. A friendly sprite fits on each shoe to hop and skip and run with you. Sure hope they'll add to all your fun and make the day a happy one. Have a happy Easter. And then, and Also, just look at the beautiful rainbow background behind this. I mean, gorgeous. This is basically what the background of my first or not first, later on iterations of RainbowBrite.net had back in the late 90s. Anyway, so here's the Sprite shoe top pals, and I'll turn them over so you can see the perforations, I think. Wow, that's really hard to show off. The lines are pretty thin. Okay, there we go. I think you can see now. So they're meant to be punched out, and then if you turn this, it's got the instructions. Press out both shoe toppers, press out holes in both shoe toppers. Where do they have holes? Oh, above them, there's a little hole, like about this far up. Actually, wait, there's two holes. There's a hole there, and then another hole here, so that probably folds. Yeah, you fold that. Press out both shoe toppers, press out the holes, fold top back along scored lines so holes match, tie knot in shoelaces, then put both laces through holes as shown, tie a bow. Okay, yeah, and then it just sits on top of your shoe in the end. But it's paper. So I can't imagine many of these lasted very long on the shoes of children if people actually did this with their cards back in the day. It's like, I do like gimmicks like this. It's fun and cute, and it's more than just a card for a kid to be like, oh, a card, yay. I mean, I always loved cards as a kid, but I'm weird. I know a lot of kids are just like, card, psh, give me the toy. I want that. I want the whatever thing I can play with. But this is kind of both. It's a card, and you can play with it. Maybe the card gets kept after they've punched stuff out of it. Who knows? Thankfully, this one was not punched out. It's still in very good condition. But I, again, love the fact still coming across cards I've never seen before. And speaking of things never seen before, another piece of clothing. This is a vintage nightgown. Very small one. Let me see if there's a tag. There might be one down in there. But yeah, again, not great with ages, but I'd say maybe 3-year-old by the length, 3 or 4, something like that. The arms are so small though, but you know, kids are small. Anyway, this is a Christmas themed one, as you can tell by the red and white stripes. They did several Christmas themed outfits or just shirts or sweaters, but this one in particular I had to get because, again, A, I had never seen it before, and B, it features the baby sprites, which are, like, featured on practically nothing. Here's another reason I know it's a holiday thing. She's got some holly in her hair. So here are the baby sprites in a crib with Puppy Brite. Again, he's hardly ever on anything either. And she's, like, rocking them to sleep. And this one's got a little bottle. This one's got, like, a little pacifier, looks like, and a little pillow. And she's just like watching them with a big smile on her face. And Puppy Brite's very excited that there are baby sprites that he's helping to look out for. And oh yeah, they've even got sprigs of holly along the crib. And it's just so cute! Like, oh my god! And again, great condition. Like, may have been worn a few times. It's got a little bit of piling on it, but not much at all. Colors are still very vibrant. No stains. Oh, in the bottom. I forgot to show you that. It's also striped. And it's got a bit of lace. Yeah, lace was huge in the 80s, you guys. I don't know if y'all remember. I remember because I hated it. It was scratchy. This actually is not. It's very scratchy. Oh yeah, there's lace around the top too. Around the neckline. Thankfully there's like material and then lace. So you probably didn't actually feel the lace on your neck. Otherwise, kids would not wear this because lace feels horrible. Glad that fad went away. Hopefully won't come back. At least not in this way. But love this to death. Could not leave it behind. So yeah, those are my new vintage editions. Pretty sure that's all of them. Oh wait, it's not. Sorry. There was something I meant to show off in another video, and I just completely forgot I had it then. It's been a long few months, you guys. Just stuff. Okay, So this, I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. It's a Rainbow Brite cell from an actual episode. I already had 3 cells from one of the cereal commercials, but those are much more common because I think they were animated in the United States, whereas the episodes were animated in Japan. This one, the person selling it said they were a storyboard artist on Rainbow Brite back in the day, so I guess that's why they still have some. And just recently, some more of theirs came up for sale on eBay. So I think they must have a decent number of them. Sorry. The reason it's hard to get out, I framed it, or I should say my mother-in-law framed it for me because I did not want to take any chances about it getting messed up. Because, okay, cells, like I said, they're super rare because they were animated in Japan and not a lot of them got saved. I don't know what happened to the rest. Probably a lot ended up in the dumpster or something horrible. But that happened a lot back in the day. And, well, I would still say happens today, but everything's animated digitally these days, so never mind. But the way I even came across this, because I don't look at eBay that often until I get something in my head like Baby Brite, and I'm like, oh, I gotta find all the different variants. But anyway, the person had posted also on Twitter that he had these for sale, and then I went to look on eBay and the auction had already ended but had not sold, so I contacted him through Twitter and we arranged it that way. But he's got 7 or 8 more, I think now, that have been showing up on Twitter, but they're not cheap. So I probably won't be getting any others unless another one comes up that I just completely fall in love with. But out of the 2, I'm very glad I got this one because it's from my absolute favorite episode, Peril in the Pits. And it's very easy to tell what episode it's from because it's got Rainbow Striped Brian on it. Let's see if I can show this to you without too much glare. That's going to be hard. But I love also that it has so many characters on it. And Rainbow Brite and Starlight and Brian are actually like facing the camera, so to speak. And Twink, sorry. And then we've got several of the color kids. And again, I kind of wish I had shown this to you before I framed it because it's interesting. This particular one is very interesting. It's actually like 4 or 5 layers deep of cellophane. I think that's the word that this stuff was. That's why they're called cells. They were painted on cellophane. If I got the word wrong, sorry, let me know. Educate me. But basically each character, well, not necessarily each character, but sometimes different characters are on different pieces. So, like, me looking at this closely, I can tell that the color kids are on, maybe even Twink, maybe Brian, are on the piece of sellotape, oh my god, now I'm thinking British, cellophane that's closest to the outside, because the further in it goes, I don't want to say blurrier it gets, but it's not as sharp. So Rainbow Brite is 1 or 2 behind, because again, like, Canary Yellow's head is in front of her shoe, but they would not paint it that way because if they want to then move, if the color kids run away, they don't want to have to redraw Rainbow Brite. So that cell is over top of these others. So actually Twink is probably behind Red Butler. And yeah, it looks like OJ. I don't know why he's with Red Butler. Anyway, so yeah, it's actually 4 or 5 different cells and there's different characters on each one, but for one, I wanted to keep them together because it's a set. And also, okay, the background behind it is the original painted background on whatever kind of paper they use. It's kind of fragile. I'm not super fragile, but it's paper, so it's going to be more fragile than plastic would be. But the cells are actually stapled to the paper. So that's another reason I wanted to just get this in a frame ASAP. Otherwise I would have taken them off and tried to like scan the background because that's a cool thing to have. So if there are other things you want to paint or whatever, you could have this background and then just paint on top of it or whatever. I'm sorry I didn't do that, but they literally are stapled to the top of the paper, and I wasn't about to take those staples out and ruin the paper or ruin the order of the... Yeah, it's just too fragile at this point. Even the layers of cellophane, if you try to pull them apart, some of them were stuck, like the paint, basically, was stuck. So if I had pulled on all of them, it would have just ripped up the paint, and I absolutely did not want to do that. So I very quickly was like, okay, I'm not doing that, put those back. But like this fence, I think, is on the very last piece of cellophane. Or maybe it was part of the paper, but I don't think so. I feel like the fence was painted for some reason. But yeah, the rest of that is a background painted on paper, and it's really cool, and now it's framed. And I love it so much. So I'm gonna hang out somewhere. But yeah, look on eBay if any of you are interested in cells from episodes. There is at least one other from Peril in the Pits, probably more than one. But yeah, I'm just super excited to have that now in my collection. So that is all of the vintage stuff that I've gotten lately, and I will now head over and do the Zazzle review, finally! Okay, till then, have a rainbow day! Bye!